Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a very pretty decorative kitchen towel. So let's take a look at it. Now I chose a rooster theme because that's what I have in my kitchen. My whole kitchen's got roosters everywhere. And what I did with this is that this rooster was already pre-printed on this yellow fabric here. I drew a circle around it, used two-sided iron-on fusible web to adhere it to the towel, and then did a decorative stitch around the edge. Now this border down here, this little scallop looking edge, all it is are circles cut in half, and then they're stitched into the hem at the very bottom of the towel. This is a really simple and quick towel to make, probably just 30 minutes. So let me show you how to get this towel made. Okay, so let's start with making the little circles at the bottom, okay? And so select your fabric, and on the back side, now here's my front, on the very back of the fabric, you're going to draw your circle. Now I have these circle templates. I've had them for 20 years. They come in packs of 5 different size circles. You can get them in a lot of fabric and craft stores. So use one of those or draw your own circle. This is a 4-inch diameter circle. And then lay it down. Now, you'll notice that this circle template has a dash line going right through the center. So what you want to do is, on each end of that dash line, make a mark. I tried to make mine really dark so you can see it. Make sure you do this because it's going to help you find center later on. Then go ahead and draw all the way around the edge of the template. Now you're going to make 3 circles. So on the back side of the fabric, make 3 circles. Then take another piece of fabric. It doesn't have any circle on the back. It's just plain on the back. And try to use matching fabric so it's the same. Place it where you have the front sides of the fabric coming together. Then pin those pieces together. I would recommend you use at least 3 pins. You want the edges to stay in place while you stitch on it. So after you've got pins all scattered around, go ahead and stitch right on that pencil line all the way around it. Then you're going to cut it out, and you're going to leave about a little less than 1/4 inch of fabric right here, and you're going to cut it out so that it'll look like this. Okay? So you've done all 3 like this. So you leave just a little bit of fabric. If you leave too much fabric and then we turn it right side out, it's not going to look very pretty. But if you use just a little bit, it'll lay nice and flat. So you remember those little pencil marks I had you do at the end of the dash line? Well, here's mine right there and here. So you're going to line up your ruler right on that, okay? And then with your rotary cutter, let me line it up a little better there, you're going to cut all of your circles in half. Let me do it again. There we go. You'll now have 6 of these. So then turn all of them right side out. Okay? And all you have to do is just push against that theme with your finger, and it'll push it all out really nice. Then at your ironing board with a hot iron, go ahead and press them flat. And when you're done, they're going to look like this, all nice and flat. So you want to do all 6 of them like that. So go ahead and set your half circles aside. Now take your fabric out that you want to use for the applique. And as you can see, I love roosters, so I picked roosters again, but you can pick any theme that you want. On mine, I decided to draw a circle around it. So after you've drawn your circle, you want to cut it out of the fabric, but leave about 1/4 of an inch of fabric extending past your drawn lines, okay? Then you're going to take your two-sided iron-on fusible web. On one side, it's got paper with blue grid lines on it, and then on the other side is plain paper. So on this, you want to take the plain paper side off. Now, as you're lifting it off, you'll see there's some glue there. Make sure the glue does not come off with it when you're pulling this off. So pull this all the way off. Then take your fabric and place the back side of the fabric on this sticky side. Here's my glue sticky side right there. And finger press it really, 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 really good. And get all of the air bubbles out of it. Then after you've done that, now you're going to cut it out on the pencil line or your drawn lines. Cut it all the way out. When you're done, it's going to look like this. Okay, now that you've got that done, set it aside and get your towel. Okay, so here's my towel. Now, you're going to remove the stitching in the hem on pick one of the bottoms of the towel, just on one end, and use a seam ripper. And usually what I do is I will go through and pull out about every 4 or 5 stitches. Just push it through and then just open up the seam and it'll come off really, really easy, and pull all the little threads out. Now, I've already got it open on the other end. Then after you've done that, go to your ironing board and give it a nice pressing with your iron. Get all the wrinkles out. Then fold this over. And by the way, my iron is not hot, okay? Fold it over and press it again. Now you're going to do this at your ironing board, not on your cutting mat, with a hot iron. So now that you've got that done, turn it over to the front. Now you're on the front side of your towel, okay? Now I want you to look at the towel itself down here at the bottom. Here's this fuzzy part right here, all the fuzzy part of the towel. And then here's the smooth weaved part of the towel. You're going to be placing your half circles 1/4 inch in this way. So you're going to take the raw edge. Let me get one here so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's the raw edge. You're going to place it 1/4 inch below the fuzzy part of the towel. Then you're going to continue doing that with the rest of them. And you want to try, and what I do is I overlap. Every time I put one down, I overlap the next one. And continue doing that all the way across. And keeping in mind that you need to keep that raw edge 1/4 inch below. Now, after you get them laid out, what you want to do is look at them and make sure it's all evenly spread. You probably have to adjust them somehow and to get them all even. So after you've got them all even, then you want to take a straight pin and pin down all of the corners all the way across, because the next step, you don't want these to move, and if they're not pinned down, they will move. So continue pinning. Okay, then after you've got them all pinned, then take the folded edge and fold it back over the bottom edge of the circles. Make sure it's all the way in there nice and snug. Then go ahead and pin this in place, okay? Once you've got these all pinned in place, you can remove some of those other pins that are holding the circles down. Continue pinning all the way across. Then you're going to go to your sewing machine and you're going to stitch 1/4 inch in from the lower edge here. You're going to stitch all the way across the towel. Now that you've got it stitched all the way across, you're going to turn it over to where you now have the back side up, and you're going to turn this border, right, the lower edge of the towel, you've got these pulled out, okay, so that it's like this on the other side. Pull them out, and then you're going to fold this over. So I'm going to turn it to the side so you can see what I've done. You're going to take it, fold this over, and then you're going to pin it down. So let me turn it again. You're going to pin it all the way across. Sorry, I'm trying to get a hold of it here. So place your pins like this. And you're just going to keep pinning till you get all the way across. And then after you've pinned it all the way across, you're going to stitch really close to the edge. Let me turn it again so the camera can see it. You're going to stitch really close to this edge all the way across. So let me show you the finished one so you can see exactly what I mean. Now, here's the back side, and you can see right along here how closely you stitched, okay? So now you're done with the border. So now you're going to flip it over to the front, okay? And you're going to put your applique on. So here's the applique. Now, on the back, we need to remove this paper. So you probably have to score it again with a straight pin to get the paper to tear if you're having a hard time. And you're going to remove this paper off of the back. Now, as you remove it, you want to make sure you don't remove the glue on the back of the fabric. So go ahead and set it down. I recommend you place it about 1 inch from the lower edge of the towel part right there, the fuzzy stuff, okay? And make sure you center it. Now this towel is easy to center because I've got little lines right here so I can see where the center is. Then at your ironing board, you're going to take a damp cloth and lay it on top. And then take a hot iron with steam and you're going to set it down. Now remember, you're doing this at your ironing board, not on your cutting mat. And read the package instructions for how many seconds you need to leave it. It's probably going to say anywhere from 12 to 15 seconds. Then after that, remove the damp towel and let it sit for just a couple of minutes to cool down. Then after you've done that, you're going to do your applique stitches. So now this is tearaway stabilizer right here. So you're going to place that stabilizer underneath your applique, okay? Lay it down there. Then you're going to select an applique stitch. Now, let me go to the one that's finished. Now on here, I selected a medium size satin stitch. You could even use a large because this is a pretty large design. Now look at your sewing machine and see what other applique stitches that you have that you could possibly use on it. If you've never used any of the applique stitches before, always do it on some scrap fabric so you can see what it looks like then. After you've done your applique stitch, then you're just going to turn your towel over and tear this stabilizer off. It will come off really, really easy. So let's look at the finished towel again. Isn't this pretty? It's going to look great in my kitchen. My kitchen is also yellow. That's why I chose this. Now, let's look at some other decorative towels that the Sewing Room channel offers. We've got lots of videos on towels. Here's one that you could probably do on a bath towel. This one's really easy, really quick. Just some fabric at the bottom with a little ribbon trim. And then here's another kitchen towel. This has prairie points on it. Now, this is stitched into the hem just like you did the half circles. So click on the videos. The little links are appearing as you're watching the video for all of these. So this is the kitchen towel with prairie points. So you can learn how to do those prairie points. They're really, really simple. And this towel here is probably the most popular towel we have on the Sewing Room channel. This one is a lot of fun. It's just a towel cut in half. Put this decorative border at the bottom, this little circle at the top, some cute little buttons, and a little hook you can either put over a doorknob in your kitchen or put a little hook on the wall. These are absolutely adorable and don't take a lot of time to make. Now, to keep informed on all my future videos, you gotta click on subscribe. So click on one that's down there in that lower right hand corner. It's red, it says subscribe, and then in the upper left hand corner is a round picture of my face that is also a subscribe button. Once you click on that, YouTube's going to ask you for your email address, so it's real important to enter that information. Once you do that, and the next time I have a new video, YouTube will send you a brief email with a big old button in the center. You click on it and it takes you directly to my latest video. I'm Cheryl, and I'm so glad you came to my sewing room, and I'll see you next time, and happy sewing.